I've been meaning to ask you a question. I read Zero Hedge, and do you ever read Zero Hedge?
Yeah, I read most of these things.
Okay, so we read a lot of the same things, and what I continuously see is, let's see, just recently, $140 billion was withdrawn from American banks. You know, no one knows where it went. All of the a lot
to
of
pay for gasoline.
Fill up Obama's jet. Germany wants its gold back. Everyone, it's kind of, countries are making noise about their gold. Hey, man, and that's for real. I mean, Germany actually wants their gold back. And then you read, the analysts and, of course, there's a lot of other guys, Peter Schiff's of the world, et cetera, who say, with the conservatively 40, but probably closer to $80 billion a month that is being printed to buy the U.S. government bonds, which essentially, the United States owns or buys 75 or 80% of all of our own debt. We're monetizing our own debt, which of course is helping the stock market spike. That the bond bubble that is building up is going to just, whether it deflates rapidly or whether it's a big, explosion, but that this really will take the United States down into oblivion. This is what I keep reading over and over again, and there's only one person I know who I can ask, and that is, of course, the Nobel Peace Prize economist, John C. Dvorak. What is the validity? What is the validity? Are we headed for an ultimate demise of the bond market? Which could lead to all deflation, it could lead to inflation, it could lead to a number of things, but it seems like it can't go on forever. That's what everyone keeps saying.
Most of the smart money right now has bought into the theory that the bond market is going to collapse. And it's
explain to people the bond market, because this is really easy to say. Please explain the bond market. I don't think anyone,
the
ever does that.
The bond market is essentially it's different than securities. So when you buy securities, you're buying a piece of the company. When you buy a bond, you're essentially buying debt. You're loaning, you're the bank. You're a bank. The bonds represent kind of a loan to some company that's got the bonds.
So who issues the most bonds in America?
The U.S. government issues the most, and that's all debt, and that's where we're so deeply in debt. But most of those bonds are issued to Americans. A lot of people think the Chinese own, the Chinese do own a lot of our.
They own like 40%, but
no,
is it more?
Not close. It's a small number.
I thought it was 40%.
No. I think all foreigners maybe own 40%.
So wait a minute. Do you own U.S. government bonds?
No. Why would I?
Well, you said most Americans own it. Who owns this stuff then? Who's buying it?
A lot of Americans own it because they're in
401k,
for example, fully invested into a retirement fund.
Yeah. Okay.
They'll have a ton of those bonds.
Very interesting. Okay, I'll come back to this. Just I'm putting a bookmark by the retirement thing. Okay, so that's what a bond is. But $85 billion is being made up every month, and the Treasury, if I'm not incorrect, is buying those bonds.
They're buying a lot of bonds, yeah.
But so we're buying our own debt.
Yeah, it's cool, huh?
Yeah, it's a great system.
You think about it,
yeah.
It's like a great idea.
So essentially, it's like I have rent. But in order to pay the rent, I print up some dollars and then give that to my landlord. That's the system.
Well, I can see people interpreting it that way.
I'm simple. I'm just a simple guy. So the bond market will collapse. With that, then the debt collapses. The
debt is the debt. I mean, what happens when the bond market collapses is the prices go way down of the bonds. The bond prices go way down,
right?
Because right now they're too high,
right.
And the interest rate, thus, of the bonds, what the interest rate
will
the bond would pay if you bought it at the lower prices, goes way up.
Right.
Now, if we look at the shadow stats thing that we brought out, and it has a 10% inflation rate, which is probably the true number that reflects the true inflation that Americans are experiencing. That's probably the number. Instead of like you buy this bond and you get 1% interest back, it really probably should be 10%. interest back.
Then I'd go buy some bonds.
The bond's selling for $100. It probably should be selling for about $10. So that 10x, right? So that and the difference between 100 and 10 is a collapse.
Well, hold on. Question. So does it make sense then, seeing as I only have whatever cash I have in the bank, I have no other assets or anything, to buy some bonds now, because when this thing blows up, then I'm going to...
logic is this?
But then I'm going to get a huge percentage.
So you're going to buy a bond for $100 and then watch it go down to $10? Is that what you're wanting to do?
Or I thought interest gets paid on it.
The interest gets paid on whatever you pay. If you buy a bond today at $100 and you get 1%, that which may say it's $1,
right?
That's all you're ever going to get.
Just one time?
No, you keep getting. I mean, the interest is an ongoing thing. Oh, so you'll be getting 1% back. So if you buy it, falls down to
this is a bad idea. Stop! It's a bad idea. I'm not going to do that. Screw that. I'm not going to buy it.
What you want to do is short the bond market when it collapses.
Oh, now you're complicating it. I don't want to be short. I don't understand.
Well, that's what these guys think. There's one guy, and I don't know if he's a zero hedge guy or not, but one of the most famous investors in the country, in the world, actually. He says...
Ben Bernanke?
He believes... Yeah, Ben Bernanke. Bernanke would probably agree with him. He says that this bond market, when it collapses, will make more multimillionaires than any single event in the history of the stock market. It is going to be a bonanza for people who know how to short.